Imagine waking up on a beautiful morning, brewing a fresh pot of coffee and offering it to your late grandfather. He sits silently on his familiar wooden bed, dressed in fine clothes, with his eyes gently closed. This is no scene from a horror film, but a true story from the mountains of South Sulawesi, Indonesia. Welcome to the mystical land of the Toraja, where the boundary between life and death seems to vanish. Here, people do not bury their loved ones immediately after their final breath, as we typically do. Instead, they choose to keep the body within the home, living and breathing alongside them for many years. This peculiar custom has endured for centuries, becoming a unique cultural hallmark of this emerald archipelago. How would you feel eating and sleeping right next to a body in the midst of decay? To the locals here, it is not a source of terror, but the highest expression of love and devotion. Today, take a deep breath with me as we step into this eerie and haunting spiritual world. When a family member stops breathing, the Toraja never rush to declare them dead. They refer to the motionless body as makula, meaning a person who is sick or one who is in a very deep sleep. This concept stems from the belief that the soul still lingers in the house, not yet ready to leave its descendants behind. The pungent scent of herbs and mummification chemicals mingles with the air inside the wooden house. Families use traditional mummification techniques to dry the body, preventing the foul stench of rot. The skin of the deceased gradually turns a dark, leathery brown, clinging tightly to the skeleton to form a desiccated figure. At every meal, the living still offer rice and water, inviting the dead to eat as if they are still listening. Those children play carelessly around their grandparents' bed without the slightest hint of fear or avoidance. At night, relatives light oil lamps so the deceased does not feel lonely in the cold darkness of the room. They believe that without proper care, the spirit may grow angry and bring misfortune upon the family. You might shudder, but for them, this is a precious time to slowly accept the magnitude of their loss. This cohabitation can last for months or even decades, depending on the financial circumstances of each family. The corpse becomes a silent member of the household, witnessing every joy, sorrow, and the growth of new generations. The Tongkonan houses, with their soaring boat-shaped roofs, provide shelter for the long sleep of those who have passed. The practical reason for the body remaining in the house so long is often tied to heavy financial burdens. The Toraja believe a funeral is life's most important event, and it must be conducted with absolute grandeur. A person's worth in death is measured by the number of water buffalo sacrificed on the day they are sent to the heavens. They believe the soul needs strong buffalo to lead the way to the afterlife, which they call puya. An ordinary buffalo costs several $1,000s, but a rare albino buffalo can be worth an entire fortune. The Tadong Saleko buffalo, with its distinctive black and white spots, is considered the ultimate luxury vehicle in their spiritual world. Many poor families must save and labor hard for an entire lifetime just to afford the ritual buffalo for their parents. Young men often travel far to work in big cities, sending money back to fund the funerals of their kin. While waiting to gather enough funds, the parents lie there, waiting for the day they can truly depart in peace. This is a crushing financial pressure on the shoulders of the living, yet they accept it with grace. No one wants their beloved to walk alone toward the afterlife without a buffalo to guide them. When the buffalo horn sounds to signal the start of the Rambu Solo funeral, the quiet village begins to shake. The typical somber atmosphere of mourning is replaced by lively music and the cheers of hundreds of attendees. The strongest men in the village join shoulders to carry the wooden coffin, intricately and exquisitely carved. They dance and sway the casket violently as they walk, hoping to wake the soul to celebrate one last time with the family. Guests pour in from everywhere, bringing pigs, chickens, and gifts, creating a scene as vibrant as a grand festival. The most vital and haunting highlight of the ceremony is the moment the expensive water buffalo are sacrificed. A razor-sharp blade swings in the central courtyard, ending the great beast's life in a single, decisive stroke. Fresh blood stains the parched earth, symbolizing the energy that carries the soul toward the distant stars. It is believed that the more buffalo fall, the faster the deceased reaches paradise to become a sacred ancestor. The buffalo meat is then distributed among the villagers as a way to bond the community and thank those who attended. The metallic scent of blood mixes with tobacco smoke and sweat, creating a thick, unforgettable atmosphere. To a traveler, it is a scene of carnage, but to the locals, it is the height of holiness. Once the funeral concludes, the body is finally taken from the home to its ultimate resting place. But the Toraja rarely bury their kin in the cold earth, fearing it would defile the sacred mother soil. Instead, they carve niches into sheer limestone cliffs, placing the coffins deep within the mountainside. Decaying wooden caskets hang suspended between the blue sky, forming a vertical cemetery that is both eerie and magnificent. The reason they choose such treacherous heights is to protect the precious grave goods from thieves. Outside the cave entrances, they place wooden statues called tautau, carved to human scale, to stand guard. Skilled artisans fashion these tautau with faces and eyes that mirror the deceased as they appeared in life. Looking up from below, you will see dozens of hollow eyes staring intently into the empty void. They stand through sun and rain, guarding their master's eternal sleep and watching over the descendants left on earth. The cost of a tautau is also very high, meaning only the nobility can afford such an honor. These stone tombs are the eternal homes, where the dead continue to live another life on the other side. You might think entombment in a cave is the end of the story, but for the Toraja, it does not stop there. Every few years in August, they perform the Manene ritual to wake the dead once more. The people flock to the stone caves, carefully bringing the ancient coffins out into the brilliant sunlight. This is the most dramatic moment, as descendants see the faces of their elders after many long years of longing. They gently clean the dust from the dry bones, drying them in the sun to remove the dampness of the cave. The tattered old rags are replaced with brand new, stylish outfits, reflecting the trends of today. You might see a skeleton wearing trendy sunglasses and a fedora, as if preparing for a wedding feast. They even light cigarettes for the deceased and groom the hair that has mostly fallen away to the cruelty of time. The atmosphere is entirely joyous, filled with laughter and chatter, without a trace of sorrow or grief. Descendants compete to take selfies with the remains of their grandparents, to preserve memories and share the joy with everyone. To them, this is an occasion for the extended family to reunite and introduce newborn members to the ancestors. Children are held by their parents to touch the bones of their grandparents, asking for blessings to grow quickly and stay healthy. The procession of the dead walking through the village creates a surreal sight that would make any stranger shiver. Once the grooming is complete, the dead are returned to their stone caves to resume their long sleep in the dark. The story of the Toraja may shock the modern world, making our treatment of the dead seem difficult to grasp. Yet, if we look deeper, we find a beautiful philosophy regarding kinship and family memory. In our fast-paced modern world, we often try to erase the pain of loss as quickly as possible, to move on. We entrust the dead to funeral services and rush back to the grind of work after only a few short days. But the people of the Sulawesi Mountains choose a different path, to preserve the most enduring family values. Keeping the body at home gives them time to heal the wounds of a sudden and painful separation. It is a slow psychological process, learning how to let go of what is most precious in this life. They teach us that love can triumph over the fear of death, and the decay of the flesh. Death is not a final period, but merely a gentle transition into a brand new journey. Those who have passed are always present in the minds and daily lives of those still walking the earth. The bond between generations is maintained strongly through rituals that may seem strange or ghastly. While caring for a desiccated corpse, they remind themselves of the fleeting nature of this brief human life. All fame and fortune ultimately yield only to a peaceful spot in a cold cave high upon the cliff. As the sun sets behind the misty peaks, the Toraja spirits return to the silence of the mountain stone. The journey of the dead is only truly complete when warmed by the caring hands of those left behind. This land of Indonesia will continue to guard the strange secrets of the thread connecting the living and the dead. Life and death here have intertwined, creating an endless symphony of profound human connection. Let these images remind us of the value of every moment while we are still beside our loved ones. There may be initial fear, but what remains is admiration for the sacred and immortal bond of family. This world is vast, and every culture has its own way of facing the laws of life and death. Instead of judgment, let us open our hearts to understand and cherish the diverse values of our wide humanity. Would you dare to visit the land of Toraja and take a photo with the smiles of those who have passed? Thank you for spending your precious time joining me on this haunting yet sacred spiritual journey. Please subscribe to the channel to continue with me in decoding the magnificent cultural mysteries across the globe. Goodbye for now, and I will see you again in the next fascinating stories about the world around us.